From translation, Net New English Translation. This 25th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Exodus 22 to 24. Exodus chapter 22, verses 1 to 31. If a man steals an ox or a sheep and slaughters it or sells it, he must repay 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief is caught while breaking in and is struck so that he dies, there is no blood guilt for him. But if it happens after sunrise, there is blood guilt for him. A thief must surely repay. If he has nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the stolen animal is found alive in his possession, whether ox or donkey or sheep, he must repay double. If a man lets his animal graze in the field or vineyard, and lets it stray, and it grazes in another man's field, he must make restitution from the best of his own field and the best of his own vineyard. If fire breaks out and spreads into thorn bushes, so that it burns grain fields or standing grain, or the whole field is consumed, the one who started the fire must surely make restitution. If a man gives his neighbor money or goods for safekeeping, and it is stolen from the neighbor's house, the thief, if caught, must repay double. But if the thief is not caught, the owner of the house must appear before the judges to see whether he has laid his hands on his neighbor's property. For every matter of trespass, whether it for oxen, for donkeys, for sheep, for clothing, or for any kind of lost item which someone claims, this is it, the case of both parties shall come before the judges. He whom the judges condemn shall repay double to his neighbor. If a man gives his neighbor a donkey, an ox, a sheep, or any animal to keep for him, and it dies or is injured or is taken away while no one is looking, the oath of the Lord shall be between them both, to see whether he has laid hands on his neighbor's property. And its owner shall accept it, and he shall not make restitution. But if it is actually stolen from him, he shall make restitution to its owner. If it is torn to pieces by a wild animal, he shall bring it as evidence. He shall not make restitution for what was torn. If a man borrows anything from his neighbor, and it is injured or dies when its owner is not present, he shall surely make restitution. If its owner is with it, he shall not make restitution. If it was hired, it came for its hire. If a man seduces a virgin who is not engaged to be married and has sex with her, he must pay the bride price for her and marry her. If her father absolutely refuses to give her to him, he must pay an amount equal to the bride price for virgins. You must not allow a sorceress to live. Whoever lies with an animal must surely be put to death. Whoever sacrifices to any god except the Lord alone must be destroyed. You must not mistreat or oppress a foreigner, for you were foreigners in the land of Egypt. You must not mistreat any widow or orphan. If you do mistreat them and they cry out to me in distress, I will surely hear their cry. My anger will be kindled, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives will become widows and your children orphans. If you lend money to any of my people with you who is poor, you must not be like a moneylender to him. You must not charge him interest. If you ever take your neighbor's cloak as a pledge, you must return it to him before the sun sets. That is his only covering. It is the cloak he wraps around his body. What else will he sleep in? And when he cries out to me, I will hear, for I am compassionate. You must not blaspheme God or curse the ruler of your people. You must not delay offering from your full harvest and your vintage. The firstborn of your sons you must give to me. You must do the same with your oxen and with your sheep. 7 days it shall remain with its mother. On the 8th day you must give it to me. You must be holy people to me, because I, the Lord, am holy, and I have set you apart from the other peoples to be my own. Exodus chapter 23, verses 1 to 33. You must not spread a false report. You must not join the wicked by being a malicious witness. You must not follow the crowd in doing wrong. When you testify in a lawsuit, do not follow the crowd in order to pervert justice. Nor should you show partiality to a poor person in a lawsuit. If you encounter your enemy's ox or donkey wandering off, you must surely return it to him. If you see the donkey of someone who hates you fallen under its load, you must refrain from leaving it there. You must surely help him with it. You must not pervert the justice due to your poor in his lawsuit. Stay far away from a false charge. Do not kill the innocent and the righteous, for I will not acquit the guilty. You must not accept a bribe, for a bribe blinds the clear-sighted and subverts the cause of the righteous. You must not oppress a foreigner, since you yourselves know the feelings of a foreigner, for you were foreigners in the land of Egypt. For 6 years you are to sow your land and gather in its produce. But in the 7th year you must let it rest and lie fallow, so that the poor of your people may eat, and what they leave the wild animals may eat. You must do the same with your vineyard and with your olive grove. For 6 days you are to do your work, but on the 7th day you must cease, so that your ox and your donkey may rest, and the son of your female servant and the foreigner may be refreshed. Be careful regarding everything I have said to you. You must not invoke the names of other gods. They must not be heard on your lips. 3 times a year you must celebrate a festival to me. You are to celebrate the Feast of Unleavened Bread. For 7 days you must eat bread made without yeast, just as I commanded you, at the appointed time in the month of Abib, for in it you came out of Egypt. No one is to appear before me empty-handed. You are also to observe the Feast of Harvest, the firstfruits of your labor from what you sow in the field, and the Feast of Ingathering at the end of the year, when you gather in your produce from the field. 3 times a year all your males must appear before the Lord God. You must not offer the blood of my sacrifice with anything leavened, nor shall the fat of my festival remain until morning. The first of the firstfruits of your soil you must bring to the house of the Lord your God. You must not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. I am going to send an angel before you to protect you as you journey, and to bring you to the place I have prepared. Be attentive to him and listen to him. Do not rebel against him, for he will not forgive your rebellion, since my name is in him. But if you obey him and do all that I say, then I will be an enemy to your enemies and a foe to your foes. For my angel will go before you and bring you to the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I will destroy them. You must not bow down to their gods or serve them or do as they do, but you must utterly demolish them and smash their standing stones to pieces. You must serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water. I will remove sickness from your midst. There will be no miscarriage or infertility in your land. I will fulfill the number of your days. I will send my terror ahead of you and throw into confusion all the people among whom you come, and I will make all your enemies turn their backs to you. I will send the hornet before you that it will drive out the Hivites, the Canaanites, and the Hittites from before you. I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate and the wild animals become too numerous for you. I will drive them out from before you little by little, until you become fruitful and possess the land. I will set your border from the Red Sea to the Sea of the Philistines, and from the desert to the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you will drive them out before you. You must make no covenant with them or with their gods. They must not remain in your land, lest they make you sin against me, for if you serve their gods, it will surely be a snare to you. Exodus chapter 24, verses 1 to 17. Then the Lord said to Moses, Come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship from a distance. Moses alone is to approach the Lord, but the others are not to come near, and the people are not to go up with him. Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the ordinances. All the people answered with one voice, All the words that the Lord has spoken we will do. Moses wrote down all the words of the Lord. Then he rose early in the morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain, with 12 pillars for the 12 tribes of Israel. He sent young men of the Israelites, and they offered burnt offerings and sacrificed young bulls as fellowship offerings to the Lord. Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he dashed against the altar. He took the scroll of the covenant and read it aloud to the people. They all responded, We will obey and do all that the Lord has spoken. Moses took the blood and dashed it on the people and said, This is the blood of the covenant that the Lord has made with you concerning all these words. Then Moses, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up, and they saw the God of Israel. Under his feet was something like a pavement made of sapphire, as clear as the sky itself. But he did not lay his hand on the nobles of the Israelites. They saw God, and they ate and drank. The Lord said to Moses, Come up to me on the mountain and wait there, and I will give you the tablets of stone, with the law and commandment that I have written for their instruction. So Moses rose up with his assistant Joshua, and Moses went up to the mountain of God. He said to the elders, Wait here for us until we come back to you. Aaron and Hur are with you. Let anyone who has a legal matter come to them. When Moses went up on the mountain, the cloud covered the mountain. The glory of the Lord settled on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it for 6 days. On the 7th day he called to Moses from within the cloud. Now the appearance of the glory of the Lord was like a devouring fire on the top of the mountain, in the sight of the Israelites. Moses entered the midst of the cloud and went up the mountain. Moses was on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights.